What's going on, guys? Bubba G here, and today we're going to be talking about what's been happening the last 2 weeks in college football. So, starting with the big one, which was North Dakota State finally coming up to the FBS ranks. This was dreamt of for a long time because they have been so dominant, and and this was well deserved. They have really been looking forward to this. Sac State is the next FCS call up that technically wasn't supposed to happen, but they bought their way in. This one has a lot of major concerns because, Sac State students might have been hopeful for an FBS call up, but what they were expecting was a conference that was more regional, or at least one that didn't require to spend so much money. Because they were hopeful for the Pac-12 or the Mountain West to be the new home. And neither of those came to fruition. So the conference they joined was the MAC. So this conference it pissed off quite a few students actually, because this conference isn't just any conference. As historic as the MAC is, they know what schools are in it, and to them, basically, these are schools that are similar to the Sacramento State campus, which is these are a bunch of campuses that are in desperate need of money. And the fact that, look, it's football only, I get it. You'll still be making money from your other sports in the Big West, but the problem is you're going to be spending more than what you're gaining, at least for the next 5 years. So the students are pissed about it because this is more than likely going to backfire, and they're going to basically become one of those FCS programs that just couldn't compete. And apparently most of the student body actually was fine being at FCS. They didn't want to go up. But now that they're there, they're not happy of where they ended up, because a good chunk of their games, they're home, but you have to fly across the country to play away games. And you already know Sacramento State fans are clearly not going to travel all the way up toward Ohio, Indiana, or Michigan, or for that matter. So for North Dakota State, this is a great move. Right now, I think they're petitioning to get the playoff thing off their ban. That way because the whole purpose was they wanted to compete in FBS playoffs with bigger competition. So for Sac State, this is a longer thing that they want, because they know that the Mountain West and Big Pac-12 pretty much said no because they were straight up FCS. But the Mountain West didn't say that for that purpose, because they grabbed UC Davis for all sports but football. The only reason they said no to Sacramento State, it's because of the fact that Gloria Navarez probably solved what their situation was, which is they were making too many promises they couldn't deliver. And because of that, they were draining so much in debt that she trusted UC Davis more. So for Sac State, this is a 5-year... Look, luckily for Sacramento State, this is a 5-year tryout. So obviously, if the MAC doesn't want to extend, clearly they're just going to go independent. But what they hopefully want is they get either the Mountain West or Pac-12 to take them in, because at that point they have been in the FBS for quite a while. That, at least for the Pac-12's case, they're not FCS no more, and it's better competition, clearly better than the MAC, and it's more regional. So, and it'd be a lot easier for fans to try to go to, like Sacramento State to Boise, Idaho. That's doable. But Sacramento State, I do have concerns at the fact that the lack of a solid budget is going to affect them in a lot of ways. Some students already hate the president, for what I saw, because at least some of the students there, they kind of see him as a liar, primarily because of the fact that he's made so many promises quite often, starting with the inaugural stadium announcement which was supposed to be basically an on-campus football stadium, which was basically going to have to be built where their current field is now. That didn't go through. Just the $300,000 for the rendering, and that didn't go through. And that stadium looked like it was going to be built to try to attract possibly a future Big 12 move. That's what it looked like. Because before they made that move, they were saying there's a possibility that our market could even benefit the Big 12. No, it wouldn't. The Big 12, honestly, is fine without Sacramento in their market. And besides, the Big 12 already does certain games in California already. Because California does get a decent amount of Arizona State games. Because the California does have a solid amount of Arizona and Arizona State alumni living there. So you do get Big 12 games in California. But I don't know, dude. Like, Sacramento State probably just signed their death warrant, and for more than reasons I can't explain, I think this is going to lead to a bunch of parents of students that are non-athletics pretty much suing the university. Like, especially if you're a parent of students that are a part of classes that have been getting cut by the school to make the funding for the future move to FBS. And a lot of these students are pissed because they spent money to go there, and that has not worked out. Because for a lot of these students, they basically have to go to another school and basically restart from scratch. And clearly transferring schools, unless you're an athlete, isn't exactly that difficult. But if you are non-athletic, that is more difficult than what it looks like. Because if you're an athlete, clearly the campus is going to pay for your trip to their campus for the upcoming season. North Dakota State's not a problem. It was not going to take long for them to compete. So Mountain West clearly is going to be better recruitment by far. So Sacramento State is a big question mark because of what's going on with their student body. And clearly, like I said, parents might sue the campus because of the fact that this college kept cutting classes that more than likely they saved money to help their kids get into to start class. And if they do keep cutting classes, it's going to lead to maybe not like clearly not just students being pissed. It's going to lead to obviously the parents of these students that are in these classes are getting cut. They're going to get mad too, especially if you are that family that sent them there from another state, which is a small part. And that's not good. These clearly athletics is the big part of college now. And for the non-athletic students, they're clearly are getting annoyed by it because a good chunk of the money that the university is making is pretty much all going toward athletics. Football is being used to help pay for non-athletic revenue items, same as basketball. And none of that revenue is going toward any classrooms or modifications or anything to keep those classes intact. So a lot of these type of students are getting pissed. So let me hear your thoughts. Do you think Sacramento State is going to be okay after the 5 years, or do you think they probably just screwed themselves over and this is going to kill the university more in debt? And if you think North Dakota State is going to be able to get the ban revoked, meaning they can compete right away for the Mountain West title, as well as possibly a bowl game or the national championship playoff. Which for North Dakota State, you want the playoffs. You do not want a bowl game, because I'm pretty sure for them they definitely want the playoff. They don't want a bowl game, but a bowl game is a bowl game. they'll probably don't care because it's their first year in FBS. So a bowl game they might not care about, but they want the playoff nonetheless. That was the whole purpose they wanted to come up. So let me hear your thoughts. If you think North Dakota State is going to get the ban revoked and they can start competing for those titles, or if you think Sacramento State is basically destroying the campus even more in debt because of the move to the FBS, more specifically a conference that's in the northern eastern parts of the U.S. So let me hear your thoughts. This has been Bubba G 1999. Peace out.